Offer it, Ada.
Oh god.
Dude. Ada's S tier is gonna be. You think Ada's mid? I forgot you think Ada's mid.
Yeah, I think Ada's mid for sure. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I don't know why we are like so opposite on this. Yeah, I wouldn't look at the whole legend list and be like Ada's S tier. I think the stats for the weapons are like too scary. Like low defense with blasters and spear, you got to be hitting your.
Arcadia, she might be bumped out of like top 5, but we won't even do top 5 till the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just be deciding at the end. True.
Artemis, broken. Lance is so broken. Scythe is falling behind in terms of like people are just seeing guitars and that's it.
Yeah, nothing's stopping you. Yeah. That character is crazy.
Azoth.
With like, what if you just play Azoth and you just play bow?
Okay.
Okay. I think that if Impala hopped on Azoth and just played bow, and then he also played Ada and played both weapons, Azoth would just win.
It's almost kind of like Arcadia, I think, where it's like if Azoth has the ability to abuse like his side sig hard, especially on ledge.
Yeah, I said Impala because Ada has spear. That's why. Yeah, I think I mean you can decide on this, but I think the Sigs are way better.
Asuri is Asuri so broken, or is kinda just like a menace on the character?
I think kinda Sack, Megadi, Guichabo, you, me, anyone in Diamond makes Asuri SS. The character is too easy. The game plan is literally build damage with guitars, kill with sword, and even if you have sword, you still have a solid weapon with no bad matchups.
Barraza
he's really good right now.
Is he moving? It's 1v1 focused, but even with that being said, is that enough? I feel like the faster blasters you have,
yeah,
that may, that's a pretty big deal. And Barraza being 5-speed max is kind of
He's around Azoth level. Like you can just look at him by his sigs and his speed. That like he's like just like Azoth with blasters.
Bodvar.
I don't know why it's so hard to put him in a tier list when he's like the first character ever, so you just have everything about the character.
What's the value of Hammer right now? Because you can play the sword for damage.
Yeah, you can put him in S. I think Hammer is like not that unplayable for like compared to other weapons. Like it's like axe level in my opinion.
This one's hard because I think Bryn in 2s is just a straight up SS tier character. In 1s we had Taffy, and that really and Stingray, I guess.
Right now,
Stingray, yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the fact that he played that character. I think you think SS?
Yeah, I think the Sig Kid is super solid, and the weapons too. It's just really scary character. Yeah, like if I fought a Bryn, I would definitely be shaking.
Yeah. I wonder though, like, into certain matchups, like in Asuri, is that a bad matchup for a character like Bryn? Like, is that when is Bryn at a disadvantage?
Yeah, I don't think SS actually. I think it's definitely same. Pugsy just awakened me. Definitely same level as Barraza. It's like a 2s character basically. Like it's like SS and 2s. The Sigs are really strong. It's just hard to hit the moves.
This bad boy I think is just extremely
SS for sure.
I feel like we had like a lot of debate last time whether or not to put him in SS, and I feel like now it's just so like, I don't know. Even with gauntlets changing, and in 1s, I think we're in agreement that it is a buff to them with the dare change, and guitars being so powerful that what you can do, like with the stats this character has and with how powerful the Sigs are,
the kit flows too well, and once you even hit one read for the Sigs, it's just death and orange.
Cassidy,
I think it's same level as like Ada, to be honest. Like the blaster Sigs are mid as hell, and then you have like the spear kit on Ada, and then you have the hammer kit on Cassidy, which is like carrying, and the stats aren't even that good on both characters. So yeah, I'd put both of them in the same level.
What the nerfs do?
Made them substantially worse. I would not put him in SS just because it can be hard to find like hits on this character. I feel like you really have to be in the zone to be hitting people with this character.
Yeah, just in 1s, like ripping Sigs still can do it, but it's just not nearly as like potent as it once was.
Yeah, definitely.
Like it's actually a noticeable difference.
Yeah, way more noticeable. I'd put him in S. I don't see him being below like Barraz or Bodvar.
Diana.
So good. I think it's SS. Like blasters and bow are so really just so good right now.
Yeah, her kit works on bow in particular. Is like there's so many ways you can integrate the SIGs into the kit, and I think other good bow characters like Koji, you can do it off of D-Light, but I feel like Koji kind of lacks flow sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Like this, you can use every SIG on this character, like no matter what. Like you can use everything besides like debatably Gun's D-Sig, but even then you're hitting that and you're like basically almost confirming off of that every time.
This dude,
broken.
It's just undisputable.
Yeah.
He belongs in SS. Orb is in a really good spot. There's been too many buffs to argue otherwise.
Dude, nobody plays Ember anymore. It's so hard to like, even look at her.
Katar's bow.
Yeah, Katar's bow, low defense.
Sigs are.
It's funny we
the same.
It's funny how we're over 8+ and the two characters to the right of it both have the low defense too. I feel like that's just a pattern similarly in ones if your stats aren't like Caspian's where you or like Dusk. Actually something that's going for you, like high strength. You have both string weapons and your strength is insane. So it can be hard to kill. But that being said, your bow sigs, they are good, but your guitar sigs are mid.
Like the fact that you a lot of the times are gonna have to look for like a bow D-Light combo or just on bow like an N-Sig or on guitars you have to find a read. I think that's bad considering what's going to be in the top 5. Ember, I think Ember is just you can have fun and throw out the SIGs and get a lot of damage off of it, and like N-Sig is crazy in particular on bow, but you get caught by one spear sidelight into double D-Light against a Dusk, a Mirage. It's just you're at a heavy disadvantage with that. Or not even disadvantage. It's like your move that's supposed to put you at an advantage is, if anything, just an equalizer.
Both string weapons too, so it's gonna be hard for you to come back unless you hit like a crazy read. Yeah.
Why not? Let's do A+.
Yeah.
Ezio.
Extremely good, definitely not outside of S. With that being said, it could be SS, but nobody plays a legend. It's literally so hard to know how good this character is. Like if Ray just played this and he got Grands, I would definitely just be like SS just for biased. Better than all these legends in S if you had to put them in SS. Like I look at all these characters, I'm like, what would I main? I definitely would play Ezio. The Sig Kid is like super solid. You can rob super easily. Like you have like D-Light and Sig on sword, and you have the D-Sig on sword, low recovery frames. The risk for reward is like really insane.
Yeah.
N-Sig on orb is really good. All the SIGs are like super fast and have a really good amount of force. Literally, Sandstorm could swap to this legend right now, and I wouldn't see a problem with that. Like I wouldn't even know what the counter is.
Fate.
My opinion on Fate has always been SS, just because the stat line is way too good. It flows really well with the weapons, just because it's so easy to hit moves on those weapons.
A lot of people I notice, like you think people would go minus Dex, but I notice a lot of people are taking Strength when they play her. So you have 8 Strength, Scythe, and Orb, which those weapons kind of need.
I was talking to Sandstorm about this the other day. He was like, we were talking about Orb and how Orb is so good. He's like, yeah, I just switched off of Fate for no reason. He like won majors with her and then he just switched off.
Nash? I think Nash is pretty good.
Yeah, I think Nash is cool. And ones, I'm not sure. You can like start this off here.
Okay. I mean, the only experience I have fighting Nash is Stingray and Zakoi. If you're playing well with the weapons individually, that helps a lot, but you can fall back on a lot of the signatures. There's always the threat of like just randomly deciding to do one of the signatures. He's a very good character when it comes to just like trying to cheese and stuff. Does he qualify for being an S? Like, are the signatures that good? Because the weapon combination to me isn't that great. Yeah,
I remember whipping out Nash against Anonymous Alex in a game 5. I just couldn't hit the 6. The only way I won that is because the stats, they literally hit like Silite, D-Light, Sarah on Hammer, and he just died, like he vanished. So I think that if you know how to use your SIGs right on this character, it could be really good. But with that being said, then you look at Cassidy, it's like the same thing.
Tori, I just find, compared to especially the other spear characters and even the sword characters, sword maybe not so much, but Spear, she doesn't, I don't want to say she lacks, because in 2s, I think she's still one of the best choices you can have in general. Low strength, like we're having to kind of rely on the SIGs, and they are really good, but I don't think they're like off the charts crazy like some of these other Spear characters are, like a Mirage, like a Dusk. It's literally just alternative Bodvar. So I do think Spear is still better than Hammer, but at the same time, if you're not finding the SIGs, Bodvar is going to be better for killing. If you put in the work with the character, you're going to still be able to see results. Like, I don't think she has extremely bad matchups, maybe aside from, like, super high defense. Isaiah?
I don't know why this character is so funny. Like, nobody plays the character. I think it's just because whenever I look at the character, I think of Adam Cool playstyle. I'm not too crazy about the stats. Definitely between S and A+, you can decide, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna recommend S. Jaehyun?
I don't even want to get started on Greatsword. This is like too crazy.
There is a scenario by the end of the year where Jaehyun is back in like, or like Greatsword is just, there's legends that are in the top 5 of the tier list we do. Story of Jaehyun players is almost always that they can't play their sword very well. And when they can, I think that helps them a ton. Like, I think the better you are at the off weapon on Greatsword, it makes it 10 times harder. And the fact that it's like a 7 strength sword, I think is super good.
I mean, honestly, I put Jaehyun at B+ because the nerf to his eyeball being on the right side the whole time.
That's tough.
So it's unplayable. No, but yeah, Jaehyun's an SS for sure, like, for sure. The Greatsword matchup knowledge is still like being discovered, so.
Jala.
Where is it guaranteed right now for you?
S.
S is really good. Sword and Axe, super scary. Like, fighting a Jala at any moment in time is like terrifying. Yeah. Like, Sword and Axe when you have high strength and Sword and Axe, it's super scary, and you have fast killing strong ass SIGs. So yeah, I see that SS for sure, or not SS, S for sure.
Jiro, Buddy is. I think Buddy's just an SS.
Yeah, I agree. The stats are really good for both weapons, and the SIGs are. I'm just gonna say it's broken. Yep. The SIGs are absolutely broken. Like, you have like D-Light side SIG on sword. I don't know what's up with this. I never even knew, but what is up with a D-Light end SIG on sword? Like, isn't it like true?
I think there's very specific ways you can hit it true, but it's consistently 1 frame. I know that. So it's kind of like, why would you ever really take the end SIG?
Both sword and scythe are super good, and the stats flow really well with the kill. Like, you get like Nair, Sarah, Nair on the scythe.
All right, Kaya. D-Sig is like the new end SIG on bow. Like, I feel like people just do sidelight D-Sig now all the time.
Yeah, the stats are super good, and literally nothing changed about the SIGs almost. So nothing really to talk about with Kaya, just solid SS.
Koji, kind of like same story as Kaya and Jiro, really, where it's like high dex benefits his character. Signatures just hasn't had them change.
Just solid. Like, you can just main Koji anytime.
Core.
Big rock. They buffed the hammer D-Sig, right? Like,
yeah,
slightly.
Yeah, they did a weird buff to, like, I didn't even know this, but there's a difference between the aerial version and the grounded version. And they buffed like the force on both of it. I don't know about recovery time, but I think they buff force. Core main isn't gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can use D-Sig. Like, D-Sig's my go-to move. You're not going to see core players doing that. First of all, you're not going to see a core player. He had his moment, and no one took advantage of it.
Bro, put that guy in, like, A.
Linfei?
Well, I haven't even fought a Linfei since the patch, or tested anything. Yeah. But all I know is, like, all the true combos are, like, literally gone.
That shows you how good the character was when they have a patch nerfing specifically the things that pretty much I think only this character have. Tars overall are still really good, and I think the character has a lot to offer. So I can't see this character still like being outside of SS. I don't think this character's top 5 anymore. Like, because Linfei, Katars, if I'm understanding it correctly, they're not like in their own realm now. They have all the special things about them removed. Lucian, give me the breakdown, because you just won the Royale with this character, so...
Definitely an SS. Lucian's stats for his weapons are terrifying. Like, he has a high speed with the high defense. All you need to do is just hit the strings that you're supposed to be hitting on those weapons. That's your only job, and then you just like have crazy SIGs to kill with. So many mix-ups off of like and coverage with all the SIGs. Like, you have like end SIG on Katars off of moves like Enlight, which cover so many dodges. And you have like Katar D-Sig, which literally kills an orange, and it's so fast. And it was like buffed like in like couple patches ago. Then you have like Blaster Sigs are actually usable. Like usually Blaster Sigs on characters aren't that usable, but you can actually like rip the Sigs on Blasters on Lucian. And this helps a lot because his strength is really low, so it helps to kill.
Magyar.
Why'd you say it like that, bro? That character's ass.
Sorry, I got a little too excited. There's no way this character is better than Core. I feel like...
That's disrespectful, bro. Yeah, like the character is too slow, and the secondary weapon, like you could argue that like Greatsword characters you can just play the other weapon because the Sigs are so good. But then you look at Magyar, you're like, let me prime hammer real quick. Like, no, you're not. You're not playing the other weapon. You had to play Greatsword. Magyar is too matchup diffed right now.
Is it safe to say this character has the worst hammer in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure.
Mako.
Like, you can argue that Greatsword side sig is like super good because you can just like rip it and kill someone off the side. But that's like so situational. Greatsword D-Sig is good. It's just the stats for the character are good, but the weapons don't really fit, in my opinion.
Really good character, but Esther. Mirage? Okay, I'll say right now, this character's top 5. I don't see a world where this character's not top 5 right now. The signatures are, you can use them just to build damage. Like, you can rip them whenever. And they kill too. And they're not very punishable. And the damage build of the character is crazy. Like, this is a character where having 2 string weapons doesn't matter.
Like a mini Taros.
I don't want to say this isn't a Taros right now, but like the heavy hitter where you just throw out the Sigs for fun. We'll wait, but I think the character is going to be in top 5. Mordex.
I still do think he's SS. Yeah, it's just like that. Everything about the character is amazing. I don't see someone who's playing Mordex being like maining Mordex for a long time wanting to switch off. Nothing is bad about it, basically. Like, if you want to play Mordex, go ahead, like be fakey or something.
I'm on board with that. Moonin.
Bow and Scythe, kind of like a weird combination. Fakey has played Mordex and Moonin. For that fact, he has to be an SS.
Yeah.
Fakey makes it a good representation of that.
Queen Eye.
Stats are too bad. Weapons are like hard to get back with to the stage in general.
Yeah, she goes with the characters that are, they have insane sigs, but they're like, there's like some flaw to them, whether it be like low defense or it's just kind of like just overall meh.
Yeah, like I don't see someone maining Queen Eye for the rest of their lives, even if they were paid $1 million to.
Nyx.
Nyx is so underplayed.
I feel like the signatures are they make you think the character's insane, but when comparing to other like Scythe characters, I think, in Blasters even, I just feel like there's something lacking unless you're like landing all the Sigs. Okay, Onyx in ones. I know you've like gone super in depth about it before, but not much talk is needed. It's just S tier.
Yeah, Cannon is just weighing it down right now on ones because how you had to play Cannon on ones.
Orion.
I mean, you said it yourself. Lance is broken.
Yeah.
And the Sigs are crazy. It's like Artemis Sigs. Like, they're easy to hit.
And Spear is really, really good. If this character still had the same D-Sig on Spear, for sure SS, but like I'm kind of like on the edge a little bit just because it's like, it was a decent nerf, but it still is a great like option to have on Spear. Like a grounded Sig that's like basically an Enlight each direction that kills. Like it's like that wide of a hitbox is pretty darn good. Petra, freebie SS. Signatures on gauntlets are so good, and the like with the orb, it works, and the stats are also great for both of the weapons.
Yeah, the stats are too crazy. Like you be hitting any move and they're an orange for no reason. Nothing to be said about this character. You look at it and you're like, wow, yeah, top 5.
Ragnar.
Yeah, like we talked about Ragnar, like this I feel like it's gonna go the same way, like just hard to kill, good weapons, but the hard to kill part is like too crazy. And the SIGs are honestly just not even crazy. I'm not even crazy about the SIGs.
Rayman?
Definitely a super quick guy. I think Rayman is a S tier. I don't see him going below that. Definitely not much of a problem with him in terms of it, like matchups or SIGs, killing, anything like that.
When you look at the characters that are in like A+ and the characters that are in SS, it's kind of like SS blatantly has insane stuff about them. Like Axe and Gauntlets together is pretty good. The signatures on Axe in particular, I think, are very strong.
Yeah.
But you can't bank on like hitting them always, so you're kind of stuck with like relying on like Axe and Light sometimes maybe to kill, or a Gauntlet read.
Yeah, for sure.
Reno?
I think this character is really good right now. Like the SIGs, they hit pretty strong and they're easy to hit. You have like Silent Ensig on Orb confirmed. You have like Ensig on Blasters is definitely like one of the top Blaster SIGs on any character. Yeah, I see it in S tier just because like high dex Blasters and Orb is super scary, especially when the SIGs are good enough to like hit consistently.
Sir Roland?
Yeah, every time you get to Sir Roland, you just think of like weird SIGs and the high defense. I think his SIGs are actually really good. It's just
there's like a pattern where a lot of the early characters they released, at least a lot of the early Sword ones, they're always going to be just like middle of the pack. Yeah, unless Sword itself is really good. Scarlet, if you're going to be playing just Lance, this character isn't a bad choice.
Getting hit by any SIG here is terrifying.
I think Scarlet gets overshadowed by Ulgrim. If you're going to one-trick Lance, why not do Ulgrim? Because their signature kits, they kind of mirror each other when you look at the angles they cover. It's just that Scarlets are not slightly, they are just straight up more committal.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the same kind of angles, but Ulgrim doesn't like, I don't want to say less punishable, but he doesn't commit as hard.
He's not like going in there.
Yeah, so I know where we can do Ulgrim, just since we're talking about him, but I think Scarlet, like I think S is like a very fair spot to put her.
Yeah,
just because she is super strong. Is it weird to think that Ulgrim should just be an SS if Scarlet's an S?
No, because I think the stats are way better on Ulgrim. Like,
because it goes back to the Lance one-trick stuff, really.
Yeah, like you literally on Tarot stats, bro. Like basically on Ulgrim except for the strength, obviously, but yeah, you're just like you feel so good on Ulgrim compared to if you're on Scarlet with like the low speed and stuff. Definitely up there with Artemis.
Sentinel.
So to start off with, you have Hammer, so you're already borderline S. SIGs are like it's like Lucian coverage on Katars. Yeah, you just have Hammer to kill and you have Katars to build damage. It's like a Surrey, but when you pick up Hammer, it's scarier. Nah, you can be really scary on Sentinel if you use him right. Yeah, I think he can go in S tier for ones for sure, yeah.
Sidra.
SIGs are really good. Stats are really good. Yeah, I think Onyx and Sidra are like same level.
Moving on, Taros.
I mean, I played Taros recently, like against Sandstorm in that one community tournament in Grants. It feels so brain dead. Like I honestly got worse. I think this character is way too scary. Even though you have bad matchups, debatably, you're literally the heavy outweighing force is insane. With Taros, it's like even though you have bad matchups, you make up for it with the SIGs.
Yeah, it's like you have the equalizers are always there. Tezca,
SS. Tezca, SS for sure. Like
without a doubt.
The things Sandstorm's been doing with this character is terrifying me. Like it's not even funny. It's actually
no. I played as Tezca, and I am right there with you. It makes you realize it's like now that people can't just fall back on Sarah really hard. The options that are like that. For example, someone like Sandstorm is finding out on the character, way scarier now to me than it was previously. It was just, more than anything, it was just annoying. It was cheap. Now it's like someone who's actually investing the time and not just like looking to fall back onto like specific broken moves. The amount of mix-ups and like flow that you can have with this weapon, I think the way he described it to me was like pre-patch Scythe. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, the way you can move with the weapon, how far you can take people off stage, right? You catch their dodge, like being able to do D-Light, GC side light into like Sair. Even if it doesn't kill, they're all the way off the stage on the side, and who's to say you don't get like one more move to catch and kill them? Thatch.
The stats are weighing him down right now. The SIGs are like balancing that out. So I don't know where that balance meets. Like if it's like more bad than good, or it's more good than bad.
Yeah, but like you said, it like balances him out. But I think it would be kind of criminal to put him below us.
Below, yeah.
But it also would be kind of like, it would feel a little weird to have him in SS. So it's he's a safe character to just drop in S. Thorn ones, he's annoying.
He's definitely annoying. Yeah, he's like super solid. Like any character that plays him is just annoying to fight. There's really nothing crazy bad about the character. It's like Sentinel basically. Yeah, you can't go really wrong with Thor unless you're really terrible at Hammer.
Val's sword to me, I don't think Hattori is a bad sword at all. But I think it's just free in my mind to be like, oh yeah, Val has a better sword. You're not gonna really want to play on Demon Island or like even Small Fortress, just because on Demon, you cover the whole wall with like the side sig, and on Small Fortress, if you get hit by the side sig on sword, you could die like really early. From there, I mean, end sig hitting grounded, still, it's not, you're gonna get punished if you throw it out in most cases at high level, but gauntlets and sword is an undefeated combo. It's so good in the stats. I was playing minus dex, so I was getting another defense. So I was playing 4-4, 7-7, so like 4 strength, 4 dex, 7 defense, 7 speed, which
that's so solid.
And to a character like Lucian, in my opinion, I think that's like not a bad move. I think like I normally like taking strength stance, so it's 5-5, 6-6. I think that's like generally what people should go for, but it's nice to have the option to basically counter pick with your stats. So like having the same speed as Lucian is to me like a really nice thing, and also like having higher defense, making it harder for him to kill, is super good, because a character like Lucian, right, you don't want to have that disadvantage in speed, because high speed blasters are very annoying to fight. There's nothing like bad about the character. There's a lot of good going for the character. Like if you're like, I don't know what to play, you can pick up Val right now, and just if you get the character down very well, you're going to be able to like beat any other legend on the roster. Vector,
he doesn't even exist. He's like Hughes plays it, but I have never even seen what he has done with it.
Okay, let me say this. One of his sets, I think it was to get into winners finals, that or winners quarters. It was versus Wesley and Winters. You guys can go and find that set. He hit Wesley with a GC Ensig on the wall to end the set. It was like a game 5. Like Wesley thought he outspaced it. Wesley, if you like go to the specific moment, Wesley thought he was safe. He was so high up in the air, and then he got sniped by it, like ever so slightly, and he got launched to the moon. This is like Scarlet on steroids, and the D6, I mean, okay, the D6's not in the game yet, but when the D6's in the game, this character could be top 5 unless they nerf other signatures, like they kind of plan ahead. Bow too, like the signatures on Bow, I don't know. Lance is broken.
I think yeah, Bow is definitely so viewed as broken.
Yeah.
Once you find Impala again, you'll be thinking as broken, but
yeah, but stats as well. Volkov, slow.
Insane things, slow as hell, good weapons, terrible stats, honestly.
Very, very bad stats. The fact that he has horrific stats and is still managing to be like a possible A+ or possible S to me, that just shows like if he had different stats, like if he had 5 speed base even, it would be like if his dex was distributed differently to other stat points, he would be like SS easily. Like he'd be the go-to scythe to play in like 2v2s. All right, Lord Vrax.
And the coverage on all the SIGs are really good. So he's definitely not below S, but he can be debatably in SS tier.
He, to me, has some of the best edge guarding capabilities out of any character in the game. Like the weapons have range to them, like the light attacks, and then the signatures. Your range of coverage, like you're very safe when you're doing that. I think that's a very valuable tool, especially someone like Stingray, who he can play off stage a bit, but it's not like that's what his goal is, to just like run off stage and fight you. Like this benefits players like that super hard. The signatures they're insane. The stats aren't like, I'm not gonna act thrilled about them. If like it's like another case like Volkov, where if the dex was put into like strength, defense, more speed, and he was like a 3 dex character, this guy would be top 5 like permanently.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that if you had like, if you were able to do 6 strength with like 7 dex, that'd be insane.
Wushang.
Like their change on Gauntless is like the only thing I think about. That's like gonna be with any Gauntlet character right now, but you have so many good SIGs. Like every SIG is good, and it's just like terrifying fighting out Wushang at any time. I think the combo with Spear and Gauntlets is like the only thing. You're playing really read heavy, but you do have the good SIGs, so maybe that, I'm pretty sure that just does balance it out.
Yeah, it offsets.
Yeah, so depending on how good you are with the SIGs, this character could be terrifying. Like the SIGs, like don't get me wrong, the SIGs are good. It can be hard to hit sometimes. You're not outranging or anything. You have to like go in there a lot, besides a Spear side SIG. Zol. Well, nobody plays the character, let's start with that. So we're going based off just like pure looking at the character. We have high stat, high strength here. Axe and cannon. I remember fighting it and made me feel good playing into Zol. I feel like playing into Zol, because I fought his Zol at the Royale, I'm pretty sure too.
Oh, okay.
Like the matchup diff is like too, it makes me feel too confident going into that. It's like he was trying to find a kill a lot of the time, and it would just be, it's like a Taro situation. Like, yeah, your SIGs are good, or not. Yeah, honestly, your SIGs aren't that good on Zol, but your SIGs are like, they would kill, and your weapons would kill, but it could just be hard to find that hit. A lot of time happens on these characters that are like so committing to each attack. You can just get broken up so badly in ones just for somebody who's playing to punish you, kind of.
And not that you need SIGs, but you don't have any SIGs to fall back on Zol, really. Yeah. At least on Axe. Like, if you're going to play the Axe, like, you have to find the light attacks. Like, there's going to be other characters in S that can kill with their SIGs earlier than he can, just like with his raw strength. Yumiko?
High Dex Hammer is good. It's not as bad. Like the matchup isn't too crazy into certain weapons. Bow is still super good. It's just what do you think about the stats? Like, what's the downside of that? It could be hard to kill sometimes.
I think the people who play this character are like super, like they're like dedicated Yumiko players, start to become very tunnel vision, like, and very predictable with how they don't keep it fresh in how they approach. You know they're gonna try for a cheesy end sig on edge. You know they're gonna do like GC side sig to get back to stage, or to like hit you and like catch you off guard.
Yeah.
The D sigs you can just throw out for free, so they always do that. But there's never been really like a Blaze guy is a pretty standout Yumiko player. Aside from that, it becomes very predictable, and I think that's more so Yumiko mains, like the actual player.
A lot of the time, like people playing Yumiko, they're playing bow. Like you have a solid bow stat line, but when it comes to time to like use the SIGs, it can be pretty hard to find that. Yeah, I think A+ for sure.
Finally, Zariel.
I would say SS here. Like this character
in ones, really? You think SS?
In ones, he's definitely, like, the thing is nobody plays him in ones. That's the thing. Like,
it's twos. Yeah, people found out in twos that the character is incredible.
That's the thing. People like found out all of a sudden that this character is crazy in twos, but like nobody plays them in ones. And I feel like if you had a player who really just like a really good player hopped on Zariel, that'd be terrifying. Like, the characteristics are super strong and they cover a lot. If you're running speed sense, you're running 6 strength, 4 dex, 5 speed, and 7 defense. That's just like in itself, nothing's wrong with that.
It is hard because there are 0 people in 1v1s who are playing the character. Okay.
How have we gotten this far? We just hit top 5. Oh yeah, this is super solid.
Overall top 5, settling for Tezca in the #1 spot, Mirage #2, Petra #3, Dusk 4, and Caspian 5. I think that's pretty fair to have that be a top 5. The worst legend on this being Magyar. Everything in between, get mad at it if you want to, makes a good amount of sense.
Yeah, basically it.